Welcome to Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski. Coach on the Couch, brought to you by Grassland Dairy. Grassland Dairy, exciting and rewarding career opportunities are available now at grassland.com. Here at the beautiful Marshfield YMCA and Coach on the Couch with Marshfield Tiger football coach Dennis Goettl. Coach, thanks for coming back this year.
You bet.
You've been a regular on this program for a while now, and we appreciate you stopping in again. So remind the audience, how many years you've been coaching and what in the world keeps you coming back every year?
Great question. Really, I think it's 28 years. I hope I didn't miss a couple.
Oh, man.
But what keeps you coming back, I guess kids keep me young, and I guess I still like to be really competitive, and high school football is one of the most competitive, fun things a guy can do. I don't know what I'd do without having something extra to do, because my wife kicked me out of the house this year. She's working from home, so this summer she said, "You are not sitting here watching Gunsmoke and Bonanza while I work." So I had to get out of the house and do something. So, but coaching football is kind of what makes me tick a little bit. I love education. I love teaching. Teaching is first and foremost, because that's what we get to do. We get to teach, and coaches are teachers, and teachers are coaches. No matter what you do, it's just a different time of day. It's after school, and it's till late nights, some nights on Fridays, and it's late nights most nights watching a film or talking to a parent or talking to another coach. A lot of people don't get that. There are some people in our profession that think, "Oh my God, you guys leave school today at 2:30, or you leave school at 1:30 to get to a place." Well, we also get home at 12 o'clock at night too, and while you ate supper at your 6 o'clock regular, we didn't get to eat, or we eat a cold Domino's pizza over in Appleton. One of those things. So it's rewarding, and it has its downfalls. There's a lot of people that don't get it, and they get out. So I guess they understand when they don't like it anymore, and I'm just maybe a little too goofy to get out. How's that? So again, I work with great people, a great group of coaches, and everybody has their little niche in our program, and they know what they got to do. So it's really, it's not well oiled, but it's really oiled. How's that? I mean, you have your mistakes and you have your glitches and things happen, but you have to go through the bumps in the road, and you have to be able to figure those things out. So I think my staff is just awesome, and they take care of a lot of stuff and make this thing roll.
Speaking of game film, you and I we watched a little bit of game film just a minute ago. Happened to be your last game of the year last year, and a win over Stanley Boyd. Of course, you've got some history over in that area.
You're bringing this up?
Of the state. It was neat to see. There were some circumstances that led to that being your opponent that day, but it was neat to see. It caused some others in the area to say, "Hey, why don't you play Stratford? Why don't you play Edgar?" These other teams. We can leave that for a different discussion, but you end the year with a win. And tell us about that, and get into see some friendly colors on the other side of the field.
Yeah, Coach Koenig we got dumped by Menominee right before the game. It was a 15-minute turnaround. We were eating lunch. Coach Brandt and Coach Higgins and I were out. It was the day we had that we could go get lunch quick, and we did that. And all of a sudden, Mr. Delaney says, "Hey, you lost your game tonight." So they looked on because they're the phone gurus, and they looked up who was open, and Stanley was open. So I called Coach Koenig and said, "You guys want to play?" He goes, "Are you serious?" So I'm like, "Hey, anybody will just want to play a game." We had 5, and he's like, "Let me talk to my captains." And it just so happens, small world, that his captain that he called was my cousin's son, and he said, "Heck yeah, we'll play those guys," and they did, and again, they're a very, very good football program in the state of Wisconsin. They're perennial powerhouse team, and they got a lot of good kids, and they showed that again against us. And I told the kids, don't hold anything back. First of all, because they're going to be a good team, and they're going to be scrappy, and it's 11 on 11 when you're out on the field. So it happened to turn out our way, luckily, because I wouldn't be able to go home. I told the kids at halftime, I said, "You guys better win, or I can't go home." And I kind of want to see my mom. She's a little bit older, and I want to get home. So they took the challenge and made it happen. So.
Yeah, the 1-point game at halftime. You held the margin there, but a 1-point game. Stanley came to play that day.
Yeah.
The Orioles are not messing around when they show up.
They're a good football team.
Certainly are. In that game, we'll segue into this year. In that game, Trevor Femmel, 4 touchdown passes, and I'll have the luxury of calling your football games this year from the booth, and I think I might be calling Trevor's name a few times. So let's talk about that a little bit. Give us some of those guys that are that you would like to make an impact this year.
Yeah, there's no doubt Trevor's going to be a good one. A lot of things to learn. He's still young, and he's a good athlete. It's really nice to have that kind of luxury of trying to mold a kid like that who's got the ceiling's not a limit.
Junior coming in, right?
Junior coming in, and very knowledgeable of the game. He's been around the game. His dad played for us, and he played college football, so he's a football kid. And Jim Ratt, I would say, he's just knowledgeable dude, and 4-point whatever student. So he's really smart, but sometimes he's too smart because he kind of gets too concrete. I tell him, I said, sometimes you gotta fly by the seat of your pants. But then he says, and he takes it too literally, and he starts flying too much by the seat of the pants. Got to rein it back in, but he is fun to work with. He's got a great attitude, and he's really a happy kid. Really nice to see. Some of the other kids, we're going to have a nice offensive line coming back. We did the division and got some averages. We're going to average right around 250 for an offensive line this year. So, and there's 3 juniors and 2 seniors, so it's really a nice group to have on the offensive line. And running back Jeff Marsh and Matt Trulin and Gary Willowite, Garrett, we call him Gary, just for fun.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that too now.
We've got all kinds, but the offense has got a nice look to it right now. The Cavernan kid and Favorite kid are the 2 receivers right now. They both have nice height. They're probably both 6'4", 6'5" kids, and can move. Cavernan's really a fast kid. He ran track. Fraves ran track, but he had some injuries with his hammy this year and didn't fully develop into the track athlete we wanted him to be this year, but he'll be a good one too. So defensively, pretty stout over there as well. Defensive ends are big, tall dudes again and got some weight to them. Ike Daggett and Zach Glomman are 2 dudes you'll be calling their names a lot. And the linebacking core, the 3 dudes, and they're going to rotate in and out with another guy. So there's 4 guys there that can play. D-backs are going to be mostly seniors. One guy, the Hinson kid, just this week, he found that his wrist hurt a little bit, and he ended up going to the clinic, and he broke it in the scrimmage, and he's been practicing. So a little bit difficult there to take. He's our starting senior safety, so that's a good dude. And Christian Chin on the other side of him, and Christian will play some running back also with our offensive scheme. We have 3 running backs that can carry the ball all the time, so we need a lot of dudes. Yeah.
One of the challenges that I think you've had since joining the Fox Valley Association a few years back has been team speed. Sometimes those teams have been faster than yours. Not necessarily better football players, but faster. I don't know if there's a faster guy than Jeff Marsh. I don't know if there's a faster running back, but maybe not a faster guy. Tell us about your team speed a little bit and what people can expect to see this year.
Jeff found that in track this year he wasn't the fastest kid. So he's a very good running back. He's very powerful, and he's got some really jitterbug stuff that he can do. He's probably 195 pounds. It's a nice back, and been predominantly good through his whole life. But he's a junior, and juniors make mistakes once in a while, which we don't want to make mistakes, but dang it, they just happen. But I'm really impressed with his scrimmage. He had a real nice scrimmage in Eau Claire, and it's nice to have a lot of tools to come back and work with. So I guess we do have, like I said, Cavernan he was a hurdler for us this year, and pumping up that stuff. I guess we had a good number of my kids ran track this year and threw shot put. A couple of them did. So we had Evan Pretsch ran track. He's going to be another one of those kids that rotated on the defensive backfield. So we got some kids that are out for track and football, which that helps a ton when you can get people doing those two sports together. So.
Mentioned those Fox Valley schools. You'll play one of them on Friday. That's Fond du Lac. They all got to play in the spring. Your kids were running track or getting ready for that during that time. Advantage, disadvantage, and how do you think about that? Those guys just getting done playing about 2 months ago.
And I really don't know how to tell you, or don't know what to think. I mean, I would get sick of coaching football after that many months doing it steady. But they're obviously going to be ready. They were a very, very senior-dominated team last year, and they lost pretty much all of them, and they played both ways a lot. So they're going to be very physical and very strong, and they hit the weight room. We just hired one of their kids, a former student. He was a teacher at Fond du Lac, and talked to him a little bit about, they have a first hour of their school is dedicated to athletic lifting. So their coaches run that. So they lift every day, first hour of school. They don't have to worry about after school. They don't have to worry about kids missing, because if you're not in the first hour, you're absent. So they're there lifting. So big deal, a different way to do things. We just have to work at how we get things done, and we get it done. So it'll be a great game. I think we can match up well with anybody we play this year. How's that? So it's going to be us, who comes to play, and can we make the least amount of mistakes? How's that with our younger dudes? So we've had a successful group of kids through their whole time with Trevor's group. They're a very successful football team. So let's hope they can carry it over and keep winning.
Question that comes on the show almost every time is a question about senior leadership. During practice, you and the other coaches, you can be right there on the field. You can be in the huddle, you can stop the play, you can do whatever you want on the field. Game day, you're on the sideline and that's it. And your guys got to get out there and go after it. And the seniors can help be coaches on the field. So how do you phrase that to your seniors and the type of responsibility you want them to show on the field?
I do have senior leadership class, and I do it in the spring all the way through till school's done. We talk a lot about this year, especially with the last year, that nasty thing that happened to us last year. It's we got to we can create a whole new culture, and the big word is culture that we work on. And what do you want it to be? Culture is what you want to be and how you're going to do it. So I lay it on the line to them. I said, you guys want to be good? You want to be mediocre? How do you want us to coach you? What do you want to have done? How are we going to deal with this in this situation? Just so we threw all kinds of things out. And yeah, you want your captains out there on the field, and we have 4 of them I usually choose with my staff, the 4 kids that we're going to have 2 on D and 2 on O, but we have 12 leadership lines, so the 12 guys are out front with their guys behind them, and what are you going to do? Are you going to be, we start behind the line and finish over the line. That's kind of one of the sayings we use. Are you going to put in full effort, or are you going to cheat? Are you going to take a play off? Or are you going to start a foot over the line and quit before you get to the end? I mean, it's all on you. And how do you want your senior season to be? How do you want your senior legacy to be? You guys got to want whatever you want, and hopefully you can attain whatever you want. So, yeah, seniors are the way we got to win.
Yeah, I think so too. We're talking to Marshfield Tiger football coach Denny Goettl here at the Marshfield YMCA. We'll begin to wrap this thing up here, Coach. We talked about the senior leadership a little bit, and that will have a lot to do with the outcome of your games. Of course, the games are measured by what's on the scoreboard. Early, I think of this game on Friday over at Fond du Lac on the road. In that first quarter, if you didn't see the score, how would the guys, people watching this game, know that things are going the way that Coach Goettl wants them to go on Friday night?
If we get a first down, and if we move the football, and if we can eliminate any kind of goofy mistakes that you yell at the TV for the Packers making, if we can eliminate those things, then it'll be a successful quarter. But if we're 3 and out and 3 and punt and have some doggone turnovers, it's not going the way I want it to go, or anybody out there in the field wants it to go. I think a big thing is going to be, how do our kids handle a setback? That's what you also want to see. Mm-hmm. Are their heads up, or do their heads fall, and are they walking around, maybe moping around a little bit? I mean, we're going to be pumped up, and we're going to try to keep the kids pumped up, and hopefully it's positive things come out from each drive, and if we can score it, even better.
Zaleski Sports, the official broadcast partner of Marshfield Senior High School Athletics. So what that means, Coach, is we follow your football team home and away as a plan B for people to be able to watch the games. Plan A is to get down there and cheer on you and your guys in person, because home field advantage is a real thing, and support on the road is too. So give a pep talk to your fans out there and tell them to come on down and watch your guys play.
Yeah, if you like hot dogs and potato chips or popcorn, and you like high school sports, you got to get out. The stadium is phenomenal. It's second to realistically none. And that's a cliche statement, but I've talked to college coaches that have been here and guys that have been around and say, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's better than what we play in. And I go to college games because my kid plays, but they play on grass field, and they love it because it's their tradition of what they have there in their city and their stadium, and it's mowed meticulously, and it doesn't look as good as this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But our stadium is crazy good. So if we can get people down there and support any soccer as well as us, I mean, track in the spring, get out there and see it. You gotta want to be there. It's amazing.
Largest video board in the state of Wisconsin. Beautiful place. Hiding Community Stadium is what we're talking about. So get down and watch these guys. If I have it right here, Coach, week 2, 3, and 4, you're at home. So you got kind of a little bit of a homestand there, if I remember correctly.
For sure, Slinger. Hortonville, are they back here? Or are we going to Hortonville?
Here and Grantsville. Or Grantsburg, sorry.
Yeah, Grantsburg, yeah. I thought Hortonville was on the road, but...
Well, who knows?
Yeah, I know.
We'll find out.
That's me not knowing my schedule. I worry about Fond du Lac, and then I'll worry about the next game.
That's exactly right. So, again, if you can get down to Fond du Lac, kickoff 7 p.m. Over in Fond du Lac. Otherwise, we'll have it live at ZaleskiSports.com. Coach, thanks again for coming.
JV plays Fond du Lac tomorrow at
That's right, Thursday night.
3 o'clock.
Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock.
Just because long travel and all kinds of things, we're going at 3 o'clock. So come out and watch that.
Yeah, come out, cheer on the Tigers. We're very much looking forward to it. That'll do it for this edition of Coach on the Couch. More coming up. Stay tuned.